Hello, everyone. My name is Nick Infernus, and welcome back to another Miscellaneous review. Now, I know I don't sound as energetic as usual in this episode, but that's because the movie I'm covering is probably the most important movie that I'll watch all year. It's a movie that, you know, is meant to, send a very important message that all of us need to hear. The movie in question is Sound of Freedom. Now, this movie tells the real life true story of Tim Ballard, who is a former home security agent who, set up a sting operation in South America to put an end to a sex trafficking ring. And it's probably one of the most powerful things I've ever seen. For one thing, the actual, you know, portrayal of Tim in this movie is someone who I feel like a lot of people could find themselves relating to, especially parents. Because in the movie, something he asks is, "What would you do if it was your child in this situation?" Like, obviously, you'd want to go and do everything you can to get them out of there, and potentially anyone else who's involved. And Jim Caviezel does a great job in the role, both with his voice acting and his face acting. He's really good at conveying the almost the sadness, and even during the sting operations, he's really good at winning the predators over to you know winning them over and making them feel safe and comfortable. Make sure that it's not too suspicious. Everything that the story would need for him to do to make it work, he's able to do all of it. And even when I implied that this is about a man stopping a child sex trafficking ring, obviously this is very heavy subject matter. So, you know, do be cautious when you go in. Make sure that you're okay with some of the implications. Nothing is outright shown; it's only implied, and that's probably another thing that's so great about the movie. It's that it trusts that the audience knows what's actually going on and doesn't feel the need to show it. It's kept in good taste. They don't show anything; they only imply it, and I think that's all they really needed to do was imply it. Um, it's also it does also play everything straight. So while it does stop to you know give a couple jokes here and there, it is something that's played completely seriously given the subject matter. I'd say the only real issue the movie has is that there are times where it's mainly during the more talky scenes with all the dialogue and such. There are times where there's a lot of drawn out pauses between dialogue, and it can feel like sometimes the movie screeches to a halt when that happens, and it feels longer than it actually is. In comparison, The Flash, which is like 15 minutes longer, feels that same amount of time shorter when compared to this. Like, that feels like the 2 hour movie, where this can often feel like it's 2.5 hours, but in reality, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. This isn't a big issue, but it is something that keeps the movie from being completely perfect. That being said, if you take one thing away from this video, it's go see the movie and spread the word. Spread awareness to make sure that more people see it, because it is such an empowering and beautiful story with a really brutal message. Sure, as a movie, it has a little bit of a pacing issue, but as a story, if you can stomach some uncomfortable subject matter, it's one of the most powerful things that's going to be put out this year. So it's going to be a 4.5 for this one. Again, if they could have just ironed out the pacing, maybe cut out some of the gaps, it could have been perfect, but as it is, it's still a fantastic movie. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this quick little review of Sound of Freedom. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. I'm not going to bore you with all the generic stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Godspeed.